This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
The Kingdom of East Anglia saw the birth of their greatest son, an Anglo-Saxon warrior destined to be a champion for the ages and a national treasure for all time.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Today we have another Rob Ranks, and today it is going to be a little different because this is going to be my top 10 beer and pretzel games. Even though I don't drink beer, really. But, and I don't eat those pretzels either because I can't. But I do like to play the games. So, without further ado, why don't we take a look at my top 10 beer and pretzel games of all time. Now, I left out certain things like Monopoly, Trivial Pursuit, you know, the obvious ones. And I added things that more fit the kind of stuff that I would play and or try to teach somebody. Because if I try to teach somebody, you know, Trivial Pursuit or Monopoly or Risk or something, you know, I'm going to lose interest because of all the amount of games I play. This list is kind of built around things that I would still have an interest in, but entry level enough to teach somebody new, and then have that kind of really easy, you know, low strategy, you know, just not long to learn type of games for new players, as well as, you know, quick games for friends. So without further ado, let's check it out. At number 10 is Zombies. Now, I like this game. It comes in a little box. You can buy a bag of 100 glowing zombies, and it's a lot of fun because it's just basically shooting them up, trying to get to the helicopter, and easy enough for anybody to learn. And you can kind of gauge if people are going to be interested in this, to kind of take them even farther into different types of games. But this is kind of like that little bit of a gateway game that kind of, you could just sit down and laugh amongst each other, you know, beer and pretzels, and just give it a whirl, shoot a bunch of zombies, and see if it's really something that's your friends like, and see if you can take them to the next level. At number 9, well, you know, you got to have some dexterities on this list, and Flick 'em Up is definitely one of them. The funny thing about it, and I can never understand, is my kids did not like that game for some reason, and I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I remember seeing it at Dice Tower Con about 4 years ago, and was just completely, wow, this is really cool. At number 8, well, another dexterity game. If you got friends that you think are kind of dungeon crawlers, you know, D&D type of people, and you just want to have a nice easy night at things, well, Catacombs is perfect for a fun evening where you're just laughing and having some fun without having a ton of strategy. It's just flick it around and see how you do. At number 7 is a game that my daughter plays with all her friends when they come over. And it's Apples to Apples, which is just a fantastic beer and pretzel game. Even I can get my wife to play it with my daughter and stuff like that, and they seem to enjoy it. At number 6, this one, I really look at it and consider it a beer and pretzel game, but it's also a game that you can bring small children into if you don't mind trying to find half the pieces half the time, and that's Pitch Car. I think it's fun for everybody. It's a laugh riot, and if you have the deluxe set, like I do, where you have everything, it's just a game that you're just going to have a lot of fun flicking the little cars off the track, on the track, through the loop, over the jump, and seeing who's going to win and just having a bit of fun. At number 5 is probably, I'll tell you, when you talk about Monopoly, in the same breath you can talk about this game, but at least this game is extremely enjoyable, and that is Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is such a fantastic game, and there's so many different ways you can play it now. It's like ridiculous. It's been rehashed and reinvented, and just ask Alan Moon. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to tell you about it, and maybe tell a really bad joke too on top of it. Yeah, I was there for that. Really, really, just a fantastic game to just sit around with novices, and they pick it up quickly, and you're off and running, and you're playing a fantastic game. At number 4 is Formula D. Now, this game is it's a race game, but there is just dice chucking. And there's nothing better than dice chucking to get people involved in something. You can laugh and switch gears and slide off the road and bump into each other and cause accidents and blow out tires. It's just one of those games that anybody can play and find that they are absolutely going to enjoy it and just have a wonderful time playing it. At number 3 is a game that I really suggest a lot, because I think it's one of the easiest things that you could just throw on the table and just have a laugh riot with. And it doesn't matter how many people you could play it with, as many people as you want, as long as you have enough dice. And that's Tumbling Dice. Tumbling Dice is just so much fun. There's so many twists and turns. There's a gotcha kind of mechanism in there where you flick a dice, knock somebody else's dice off, and then the next thing you know, they're trying to get you. And dice are just flying all over the place, and just all around fun. At number 2 is my family's favorite game of all time, and that is Talisman. It is one of the easiest fantasy games that you could ever play, because you're just going around and round and round until somebody can find enough strength to get up to the crown of command, and take over whatever the villain might be at that particular time. It's a long game, but it is a game that you really don't have to pay attention to too much, and can have a lot of fun playing. At number 1, I think, is probably the ultimate Beer and Pretzel game, where it has a bit of strategy, but it's basically, you don't have to pay too much attention, and you're playing just this wonderful war experience. There's been so many different variations of it, and that is Axis and Allies. I just say stick with the original, but it is just a game that you all just sit around. It's easy. It's world domination. What more could you want? Sitting around with a bunch of friends just playing a simple war game. And Axis and Allies, I always felt it was simple, yet competitive, yet fun, plain and simple, and easy. So Axis and Allies is the number 1 Beer and Pretzel game of all time, at least according to Rob. So there's our list. Until next time, it is your old pal Rob saying, we'll see you soon.